Right, the idea behind this project is we, as a family, go on holiday together a lot. Mum doesn't often get to see all the photos that everyone takes, so I thought I'd make her a nice little box with the word of her favourite holiday destination carved in the front of it, and it would hold my families, my brother's families, my sister's families, all our photos then, and we could just get some 6x4s or maybe 7x5 photos printed out, put them in the box every time we have a get together, what have you, and then she's got the photos to look through rather than waiting for photo books to be printed and things like that. So I'm thinking at the moment that it'll be double width, and so that'll be about 400 wide by about 300 deep, which is kind of what I build my seed boxes. And I'll make it so that it's got kind of 5 inches high plus so probably about 7 inches, 180, kind of 175 high on the box. And there's going to be enough room then to cut the top off the box. I'm going to make this really simply. I'm going to do this with kind of a rebated joints on the sides, rebated to accept ply, top and bottom, just some joinery quality timber that I can carve the word Nuki on the front. And then I'm going to make that as a box, glue it up, and I'm going to cut the top off it just on the table saw. I'm going to remove the riving knife and do that, which is a little bit naughty, but it's the quickest way to do it. My bandsaw could do it, but my bandsaw has been cutting so many curves that it never stays straight at the moment, and I just use it for that one thing. So we'll use the table saw, and I will film it, and you're not allowed to criticise. So let's go and get some timber out the shed for this, and then we can get it planed up. I'm not going to film it out there because it's absolutely freezing. So I'm just going to go get the timber, dash back inside. It's sleeting now, it's defrosting. I've not been able to do anything outside for weeks really. But let's go I'll get some timber and we'll have a look what we got. So I selected a nice clean board. Clean as in there's no knots. There are a few defects that I need to watch. So I need about 175 of this. I'm going to rip off 50mm. Actually, I'm going to set the fence on the table saw the other way around. So I'm going to the 50mm is the important bit because I can use that for something else. I'm not too worried about the height of this box within a few mil. And it works about right. So got some damage there from packaging. I'm guessing when they ship it and they band it up too tight. They never think that when you order a 9x1 board, you want 9 inches. I think they always think you only want 2 missing. And there was a slight split in this. Just so it's starting to kind of check, split a little bit. I don't know if you can see that in there, you can't really. So I'll take this out. I'm going to rip off the 2 inches and then I'm going to surface it. So I'll plane the face and an edge of this and then I'll start running it through the thicknesser. Yeah, cut it to about 18mm thick and then I'll cut it into lengths and then I can start rebating it then to take the ply, and I'm just going to do rebated corners so it's going to do the joints as well. Okay, so we've got the 4 bits of pine. The sides obviously rebated thick enough to accept the thickness of the timber, which I said was about 18mm. The ends even, sorry. I think we're ready to now look at marking roughly where we're going to put the line. And we'll get carving the words on the front of here. I might get more quick sanding off first, and then we'll get carving. It's quite smooth, so we'll sand it 120 first and then 180, and that'll probably be enough, to be honest. This links into an extractor, so it takes most of the dust, so there's no need to worry about maths or anything. I have printed out what I want to carve. So Nuki. That's Nuki Wales, not Nuki Cornwall. And I've used Times New Roman. Remember, as carvers, serifs are our friends. These little quirks everywhere can help us carve it. And what I'm going to do is I've marked it out and I've put some little witness marks on here. And I'm going to use some photo mount to fix the paper to it. Putting a fold in the paper really helps you to line this up. Okay, so we've got a good selection of carving tools. I've got hundreds of different chisels. The idea is to find chisels that match the curve. I've got some out already. We will get some more out as I go. And the idea actually, to start with, is I want to split these in half, these letters. So just by eye, I'll just do the big straight ones first. And that can let me get started then. I've got some smaller. Then once you split it halfway, the idea is come at the same angle, like that, into the middle. Same from the other side. And there we go. Then it's a case of finding some smaller chisels and we'll get the rest of them. But we can do all the big ones for starters. That at least gets us going. Carving into pine's never ideal. This isn't too bad of stuff. Just have to be careful with the fine detail. Try and clean up as you go. It's nothing worse than to come back to everything. Clean up all the wispy bits. Use some white spirits, fetch it off, and then we have a last look at it. Wow, have a look at it. Okay, it's by no means perfect, but I'd say it's fairly tidy. Now, put these tools away. Right, so we're going to use some 18 gauge pins to hold the front and the back to the sides, along with some glue. And the pins will just act as kind of like domino clamps. So I'm going to glue that now, nail it. And I've got some offcut supply here. I've got a piece of birch. I thought I'd use birch for the top. You'll never see the bottom, so it's got some normal for the bottom. Glue, warming up by the fan heater. Let's make sure I'm probably just going to use my finger just to spread that. So the rebate gives us like an increased gluing area. Like I said, fairly simple joints. Do the same on the back piece. And when we're nailing it, we just have to make sure we're not going to nail where we're going to cut with the table saw. Not going to say it's always worked like that. It's definitely better if we don't. Put one in the top and then just some in the bottom. Half of it. Now I've got one edge of this fairly square. What we'll do, we'll set up a few offcuts there. Oh, I need to change the plugs around. I blew up my 110 transformer the other day. So I'm on a little one at the moment, which means I have to use the 240 extractor with the 110 saw. Not ideal. Yeah, that fits really good. So what we'll do, we'll glue that one on. Make sure we keep it right around. Obviously, if I was doing more than one of these, we'll be using my fingers. We will use some short nails in the brad gun. Right, so I'm going to clamp it up now because there is a couple of joints this want to be a little tiny bit tighter. Leave it overnight and crack on. Because of the way I glue this together, it means that inside there are a few glue marks. Just saw this up there. So you get a chisel, scrape them out, then sand up these edges I've just cut. They cut pretty good actually. Then we can look at getting some hinges on and a catch on. And then we'll think about making some dividers for the inside. Now, a little unorthodox, I'm not going to do them like you would usual butt hinges. We have them kind of in the crease, just because they're not the best hinges in the world. And the wood is not going to be much left by the time I've used these. And if I go smaller hinges, they haven't got much bite. So I'm actually going to put these just on the back. So I make a lot of these type of boxes. Sell them for seat boxes. So I've got a jig cut for these hinges, which works with a 9mm router bit and a 20mm collet. Really simple little clasp. Right, there we go. So that's the box made. And now I think we'll make an insert with some adjustable bits to it for in there. So I'll make an insert bit. I'm going to use up what scraps I've got. So I've got some nice bits of birch ply. I have one there. It's going to be grooved there and there to accept the sides and the middle piece. And then I will cut a section off this, which will be divided into 3 eventually. And we'll put some different grooves in there so we can make some little inserts. Okay, come in. Wait, 2 minutes, I'll just put some glue on something. Right, decanted some Danish oil, superior Danish oil, into a jam jar. And we'll give this a couple of coats of oil the next few days. Some of this, which is tea bag material, which makes perfect kind of finishing cloth. First coat's always really easy to apply. You can see where you put it. You do the bottom first. So there's the box. I've done 3 coats of Danish oil on this, and it's looking quite nice, and I'm hoping that Mum will like it for Christmas. The idea, I've got about 300 photos been printed out, and I'm hoping brother and sister are going to do the same, and then we can just keep adding to it, and Mum's got a nice little box down for all our photos that she might not have seen otherwise. If you've enjoyed this video, thanks for watching, and see you soon.